Big Blue, stop right now. MetLife Stadium just exploded with breaking news, and one single number is already on the table. 32 years old. An under-the-radar veteran tandem is quietly being tasked with reshaping John Harbaugh's inaugural season. A terrifying primetime prediction against a record-breaking pass rusher has ignited outrage across Big Blue Nation, and a former Biletnikoff Award winner is officially fighting for his NFL survival on the roster bubble. Insiders warned us this morning, and here is your first payoff. That 32-year-old veteran? That is nose tackle DJ Reader, the exact piece the front office brought in to fix a run defense that ranked dead last in the entire league in EPA per rush allowed last season. If you bleed blue, white, and red and want to see New York stand tall, hit like and subscribe right now. We start with the pair of under-the-radar signings that will define the start of the John Harbaugh era. Stay locked, because a double cliffhanger is waiting at the end. Whispers turned into footsteps during the first full team walkthroughs. The name? DJ Reader and wide receiver Darnell Mooney. Now watch how these two under-the-radar additions dictate the success of this entire roster overhaul. Nearly half of the Giants' 90-man training camp roster is brand new. Head coach John Harbaugh came in and aggressively restructured the supplementary pieces around Jackson Dart and last year's core stars. According to Zachary Perilis of CBS Sports, Reader and Mooney are the two stealth additions capable of completely altering the 2026 season. Reader steps into the center of the defense as the primary nose tackle tasked with anchoring the interior line. Replacing Dexter Lawrence II is an impossible assignment, but Reader provides the exact physical violence needed to stop the run. Perilis ranked Reader 30th on his list of under-the-radar league players, noting that for all the hype surrounding year 1 of John Harbaugh and year 2 of Jackson Dart, New York simply must stop getting run all over. Per Pro Football Focus, Reader logged over 20 run stops in 3 consecutive seasons before a slight dip with Detroit. He is now the single most critical player on a thin interior defensive front. Meanwhile, Darnell Mooney came in at 10th on that same list as a top bounce-back candidate. The 28-year-old wideout brings invaluable familiarity with offensive coordinator Matt Nagy's scheme and can operate seamlessly inside the slot or on the outside. If Malik Nubbers isn't fully clear for Week 1, Mooney could immediately inherit a massive target volume. Think about what these two veteran additions bring to a young, developing locker room. You have an anchor up front who takes on double teams to free up linebackers, and a smooth route runner who gives a young quarterback an easy safety valve on third down. In a division where games are decided in the trenches and through third down conversions, having veterans who do the dirty work without demanding the spotlight is pure gold. Reader doesn't need highlight clips. He needs to reset the line of scrimmage 2 yards deep in the backfield. Mooney doesn't need 40 targets a game. He just needs to beat single coverage when defenses tilt toward neighbors. That functional depth is what separates playoff contenders from teams watching from home in January. When you study championship teams built by the Harbaugh family over the last 2 decades, they always feature unselfish, gritty veterans who set the culture in practice. Reader understands how to command the zero technique and push center guard combinations backward, which prevents guards from climbing up to block middle linebackers. That allows the secondary to play downhill with complete aggression. On the other side of the ball, Mooney gives Nagy the ultimate chess piece in pre-snap motion. He can stretch the field vertically to open up intermediate crossing routes or take quick jet sweeps to keep defensive ends honest. That dual-threat versatility takes immense pressure off a young quarterback trying to process complex NFL coverages in real time. Do you think DJ Reader and Darnell Mooney will transform this team? Drop your predictions below. If you believe in this new-look roster, smash that like button right now. But as critical as these additions are, a wild prediction about Week 2 has left fans absolutely furious. Scouts called it pure disrespect, but national analysts are already setting up a primetime nightmare scenario. The question wasn't whether Myles Garrett would make plays, but whether anyone could stop him. The name on the hot seat? Andrew Thomas. Analyst Jarrett Bailey laid out a terrifying hypothetical scenario for Week 2 on Monday Night Football, predicting that newly traded Rams pass rusher Myles Garrett will dismantle the Giants' offensive line to the tune of 3.5 sacks on Jackson Dart. That prediction is pure slander against Big Blue's elite left tackle. Garrett is coming off a legendary season where he broke Michael Strahan's single-season sack record with 23 sacks, and he joins a stacked Rams front. But Andrew Thomas is not a turnstile. Although Thomas missed 4 games last year, his 13 games played represented the highest level of performance in his 6-year career, making him arguably the biggest Pro Bowl and All-Pro snub in the league. PFF handed Thomas an otherworldly 90.3 overall grade, ranking him 4th out of 89 tackles, alongside an 87.2 pass blocking grade. Even while managing lingering foot and shoulder issues in camp, Thomas is fully on track for Week 1. More importantly, in 2 career matchups against Garrett, Thomas has limited the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year to just half a sack total. That is an undeniable fact. Expecting Thomas to get ragdolled for 60 minutes on national television completely ignores his proven track record against elite edge rushers. Elite left tackles are built for these exact moments. When you have a young franchise quarterback stepping under center in a hostile environment on Monday Night Football, your left tackle is your insurance policy. Thomas has proven time and again that he can erase the opponent's best defensive player, allowing the offensive coordinator to keep tight ends and running backs involved in the route concepts rather than forcing them to chip continuously. Disrespecting Thomas only fuels his fire. And if history is any indication, Garrett is in for a physical 4-quarter battle rather than a sack party. When media talking heads push narratives like this, they conveniently ignore punch technique, lateral kick slides, and anchor strength. Thomas possesses some of the best hand placement in the game, allowing him to neutralize elite speed to bull rushes before the pass rusher can generate momentum. Against a player of Garrett's caliber, pass protection isn't just about strength, it's about anticipation and footwork mastery. Thomas excels at setting deep quickly, forcing edge rushers to take wider loops around the pocket, which gives the quarterback extra time to step up and make clean throws. To suggest that a premier left tackle will surrender multiple sacks in a single game ignores years of film showing him systematically dismantling top-tier pass rushers. Do you believe Andrew Thomas will completely shut down Myles Garrett in Week 2? Comment your take below. If you stand with Andrew Thomas against national media slander, subscribe to the channel right now. But while our star left tackle prepares for war, a former top draft pick is watching his time in New York slip away. A move 3 years in the making, or the final chapter of a failed draft pick? Sources say the 53-man roster projection has sent shockwaves through the facility. The identity everyone's talking about? Jaylen Hyatt. Entering his 4th season, the former Tennessee Vols star and Biletnikoff Award winner is officially fighting for his NFL life. ESPN insider Jordan Raanan released his official roster projections, and he predicts Hyatt will be cut before the season begins. Since the start of 2024, Hyatt has caught just 13 passes, completely falling out of favor in New York's offensive system. Furthermore, he is a questionable fit for John Harbaugh's run-heavy scheme, which heavily relies on multi-tight end personnel packages. Raanan listed Malik Nabers, Darnell Mooney, Darius Slayton, Calvin Austin III, rookie Malachi Fields, and veteran Odell Beckham Jr. as roster locks ahead of him. That leaves Hyatt on the outside looking in alongside players like Curtis Samuel and Isaiah Hodgins. Entering the final year of his rookie deal, a cut and a fresh start elsewhere might actually be the best outcome for Hyatt's career. Interestingly, Hyatt isn't the only former Tennessee receiver projected to get cut. As ESPN's Daniel Oyefusi also predicted, Cedric Tillman will be dropped by the Cleveland Browns. The speed and raw athleticism that made Hyatt a star in college simply haven't translated to the route-running precision and blocking effort required in Harbaugh's system. When a new coaching staff arrives, draft pedigree vanishes. Harbaugh demands wideouts who can crack block on edge defenders, sustain physical perimeter blocks for running backs, and make tough contested catches over the middle. Hyatt's slim frame and deep threat profile haven't adapted to those grinding requirements. While it's disappointing to see a high upside pick fail to launch, keeping players who don't fit the culture or tactical scheme only stalls progress. In Harbaugh's physical system, receivers aren't allowed to just run go routes. They have to hit safety valves, throw violent stock blocks on nickel cornerbacks, and adjust their routes when plays break down. Hyatt has struggled to develop a complete route tree, making his speed predictable for veteran defensive backs who bracket him high. When an offense transitions toward tight and heavy formations with heavy play-action setups, a wide receiver who cannot contribute in the run game becomes an expensive luxury. A disciplined team cannot justify keeping on the final roster. Should the Giants cut Jaylen Hyatt or give him one last chance? Drop your answer in the comments below. If you want to see a tougher, more physical receiver corps on the field, smash that like button. Now, let me break down how all 3 of these major stories come together. 3 stories, 1 unified direction, under-the-radar veteran stepping into critical starting roles, an elite left tackle defending his reputation against national slander, and a former high draft pick facing the harsh reality of a roster cut. New York is no longer holding on to past potential or lingering draft reputations. John Harbaugh is establishing a ruthless, production-based culture where every single spot on the 53-man roster must be earned. If DJ Reader can transform this run defense from league worst to stout, and Darnell Mooney provides steady targets for Jackson Dart, the foundation of this offense and defense immediately stabilizes. If Andrew Thomas continues to erase elite pass rushers like Myles Garrett, Dart will have the clean pocket depth required to make big plays downfield. And by making tough roster calls on players like Jaylen Hyatt, the front office proves that scheme fit and physical toughness matter far more than where a player was drafted. The division is wide open, but only for a team that executes with discipline and physical dominance. Here is what I need from Big Blue Nation right now. 1. Smash that like button if you believe John Harbaugh's physical style of football will bring winning back to MetLife Stadium. 2. Drop a comment with your exact prediction for Week 2. Does Andrew Thomas hold Myles Garrett under 1 sack? 3. Subscribe to the channel right now because every single new subscriber helps us outshout Eagles and Cowboys fans and builds the strongest Big Blue community on the internet. But listen closely because the drama doesn't end here. Front office sources report that a final contract tweak for a starting veteran is currently stalling a potential secondary signing, and an announcement could break at any minute. On top of that, a rumor is circulating that the Dallas Cowboys are closely monitoring wide receiver roster cuts across the league, eyeing Hyatt the second he hits the open market. Will Big Blue let a rival snap him up or trade him before the deadline? Plus, an unexpected injury scare occurred during yesterday's red zone drill, forcing a key contributor to undergo medical evaluation. That story drops next. If New York stands tall, the NFC East falls. Subscribe, stay locked, and let's raise the skyline together. See you in the next breakdown.